Good evening, baseball fans. How you doing? Some good baseball today, some exciting baseball tonight. My Red Sox got the bases loaded in the bottom of the 10th. We got a tie game. Let's get to it. Good evening, baseball fans. How you doing? I'm keeping my eyes on the game right now. My goodness, what just happened here? Ref Snyder just grounded out. The Red Sox got 2 runners on. It's the bottom of the 10th. We got a tie game. Verdugo coming up to the plate. Oh, man. I had to wait a little bit to get things started because I was just trying to pay attention to this game. But we got an exciting one here at Fenway. The Twins, they took the lead late. But the Red Sox just came roaring back on a Reese McGuire 2 RBI base hit that tied the game. Everyone, how you doing? Welcome to tonight's show. I wasn't here last night, so it's been a couple of days. How you doing? I hope everyone's doing well. And come on, Verdugo. Come on. You got to swing at that one. How you doing? But, yeah, we got a lot to talk about here, everyone. We got Shohei Ohtani going to Yankee Stadium. We got Cody Bellinger just looking like the old Cody Bellinger yesterday. My goodness. The Padres offense. What the heck's going on with that offense? The Marlins are playing really good baseball lately. I want to talk about the Marlins. Look at the Pirates yesterday just blowing out the Rockies for 4 team runs. My goodness. A lot of good baseball going on at the moment in the early part of the season. You know, it's April 18th, and it almost feels like we're in July. I don't know what it is. Like, it's just been a great start to the season so far. Oh, that was right near Verdugo's head. Man, oh, man. But it's been a fun start. We've had some great baseball so far. And, hey, pretty exciting. You know, anytime you got Shohei Ohtani going to Yankee Stadium hitting home runs, that's not too bad if you ask me. My Red Sox yesterday, a tough loss. A lot of rain delay yesterday. Shohei Ohtani was on the mound. We had some stuff going on with his, what do you call it again? The pitch comm or whatever they use, whatever. But that was crazy. I mean, it was like a delay of it felt like 10 minutes just trying to get the pitch comm thing figured out because his broke or whatever. But anyway, in the end, my Red Sox ended up losing. So I was sad yesterday. But now I'm feeling pretty excited. But everyone, I'm just rambling right now. Oh, Verdugo hits it deep. Oh, that was actually pretty close. Oh, it's a fair ball. Verdugo walks it off, and the Red Sox win it. Oh, wait, what just happened? I don't know what's going on right now. The LED lights are flashing everywhere at Fenway Park right now. Wow, this is crazy. This is pretty hilarious. The LED lights are flashing everywhere, but the umpires were like, all right, hold on, no, cut the lights. It looks like, no, that's a fair ball. That's a fair ball. The Red Sox win it. Verdugo with the walk-off, and the Red Sox have won it. I don't know why the umpires are even looking at it. It was pretty obvious that it was a fair ball. But we just had a super chat coming on in. Jimmy Productions $4.99. How you doing? Robbie, if the Nationals had a good lineup, do you think they could have been somewhat contenders, like 7 to 10 wins right now? Pitching has been good. Yeah, Josiah Gray didn't look all that bad today. I mean, the Nationals are just a few years away. They got to wait for these young guys to come up. They'll end up adding guys down the road, via free agency. They'll make some trades, but they got to really build that farm system back up. If they just had more talent, of course, I think the Nationals would be a better team. But, they've had a couple of good games this year. The Nationals, they got a little fight to them. They got some young players that are pretty exciting. But Jimmy Productions, thank you for your super chat. Really do appreciate that. Yeah, Brandon Dillman, a healthy Strasburg would help. I mean, honestly, you might as well just keep Strasburg out until he's completely healthy. To be completely honest. I mean, why even rush him back? There's no point. Just make sure the guy's ready to go. And maybe next year the Nationals can be a pretty competitive team, and you got Strasburg healthy, and definitely at least in the next 2 years. So no point rushing back Strasburg. I don't know why they're still looking at this. This is pretty ridiculous. It was clearly a fair ball. I don't know why they're even... Why are they even looking at this? It was a fair ball. It was noticeable by a mile. And here come the showers for Verdugo. The Red Sox walk it off. I'm a happy boy, everyone. I'm a happy boy. But everyone, let's get to it here. Let's get to it. Apologies. I guess got to watch my Red Sox win a game here. Here we go. If you are new to the channel, think about subscribing down below. Hit the like button, everyone. The goal for tonight is 100 likes. If you could smash that for me, that would be rather wonderful. I will love you forever. Hit the bell notification. That way you know I go live every single time. And everyone, if you can, share the stream on Twitter. Share it on Facebook, wherever you can share any kind of stream or whatever. But here we go. I got everything ready here. But let's get to it here, everyone. I'll go over tonight's sponsors in just a little bit. But I might as well just go over this Red Sox Twins game first. Hey, don't look at me, and say, oh, there's Draftnik Robbie again. Here's Draftnik Robbie. But no, this game just went final. A walk-off for the Red Sox. The fun part about this one, even before the game even started, knowing Christian Vasquez was coming back to Boston. I love Christian Vasquez. One of my, I would say, when I am an old man lying on his deathbed and someone asks me, Robbie, who are some of your favorite players? I will say Christian Vasquez. I really liked what he brought to the team. He was always great with the pitching staff. Always played hard. He always came up with so many clutch hits. Really love Christian Vasquez. So it was really nice to see him back. And the Fenway faithful treating him with the respect that he deserves. But, man, if you really want to dial it back, how about Chris Sale tonight? Oh, my goodness. What is going on with this? Chris Sale, wow. He looked like a different man here tonight. Listen, he's not going to be the old Chris Sale blowing fastballs away, blowing fastballs by guys. Slider, it does not have the bite that it used to have, but it's still a very good slider. That just tells you how good his slider was back in the day. But wow, he really looked good tonight. 6 innings, 3 hits, 11 Ks. It's been a while since we've had a double-digit strikeout game from Chris Sale. He was fun to watch tonight. That was really nice to see. Had a couple of rough starts there to start the year. Had some good moments in those starts, but, he got really banged around, like the Rays, the Tigers. He just wasn't really looking very sharp in the early going, but he looked great here against a good Twins lineup. Good to see. Winkowski was actually the one that who has been having a really good start to the year. He's been a huge piece out of this bullpen, but ends up giving up the home run to Kepler in the 7th inning, and that gave the Twins the lead. But the Red Sox, they had a pretty good inning late in the game where Kike got it started with a base hit. Reese McGuire, he swung at the ball and actually had some catcher interference from Christian Vasquez. Look at Christian Vasquez still helping out the Red Sox, but that moved the runner over to third, and then Jarren Duran, he got the fielder's choice, and that drove in the run, made it 2-2, and here we are. But then the Twins, really, they're, man, I like this whole game. It just felt like a game the Red Sox should win, and then you're just seeing what's going on here in the top of the 10th, and I'm thinking, man, really, like what a great start from Sale here today. Guys are playing hard here today. And the Twins, man, Byron Buxton came up with a sac fly. Miranda, they're just getting the bat on the ball, just doing what they needed to do to manufacture runs. And here we are. So, and then bottom of the 10th, McGuire had the base hit there that tied the game, and then Verdugo with the walk-off. So, and again, I'm not sure why there even had to be a replay there. I thought it was pretty obvious. And why it even took as long as it did. Like, it should not have taken that long. But great game here for the Red Sox tonight. Great pitching from Chris Sale tonight. I mean, what else could you ask for? Especially after yesterday. I wasn't here last night to talk about the game yesterday, but a bummer of a first start for Brayan Bello. He looked really good in the first, 10 pitches of the game. He was just looking electric out there, and all of a sudden he just lost his command. I don't know if it had anything to do. It was just like a drizzle going on, and then it just turned into just like a steady shower, and it was just like a wet game. I don't know if it had anything to do with his command. He was at almost 40 pitches after the first inning. Bello really looked rough. Carter Crawford came in after him though, and he looked fantastic. 6 1/3 innings, only give up a hit. Carter Crawford looked amazing in relief of him, but Hunter Renfroe. I'll tell you, I'm going to talk about the Angels here in a little bit, but Hunter Renfroe, this guy is having a really good season. He went deep yesterday, and he's just been looking really good. He looked good tonight here as well against the Yankees. Hunter Renfroe is having a really good start for the Angels. That's been a great pickup for them. But overall, great game for the Red Sox here tonight. The Twins, they were looking good there, but this just felt like a game the Red Sox should have won. It just felt like there were good vibes all over the place. Sale looking great. And in the end, they come away with the walk-off win. Glad I got to react to that live for all of you. But let's move on here. Let's just get to the games earlier in the day. We had just a couple of Central games going on. Detroit taking both games today from Cleveland. Kerry Carpenter had a walk-off today. Ended up going 3 for 5 in the game with a couple of RBIs. Hey, he had himself a great game today. Riley Green went 3 for 5 in that one. Eric Haas, he went 4 for 4. Tigers, their bats really showed up in this one. Not a lot of runs to show for it. They had 14 hits overall, but overall, Detroit, they just got it done today. Cleveland, they had a good fourth inning there, but in the end, Detroit, they just had enough pitching today. Boyd had himself a decent start, but in the end, the Tigers getting the walk-off. And then if we go to the next game, again, not a whole lot of scoring in the next game, but Detroit pulling out another win. Hey, 2 games under 500. All of a sudden, Detroit, hey, maybe I don't know, or maybe they could turn this around. We'll see. But Erod, he looked fantastic today. Man, that's the Eduardo Rodriguez that I remember for the Red Sox. He looked awesome. 8 innings, 10 strikeouts. Riley Green, his home run today was all the difference for the Tigers in this one. Hey, this is what happens when you're getting good pitching, man. When you're getting good pitching, your team is pretty good. So give it up for Detroit today, taking both games of the doubleheader. And we had another doubleheader today. Let's talk about the Phillies and the White Sox. The White Sox did recently, just not too long ago, wrap up their game 2, and they got the win. I'll talk about that in a second. But the Phillies, they put on the offense today in game 1. Bryson Stott now is the sole leader for the longest hit streak to start a season, passing Willie Puddinhead Jones, who set the record back in 1950 with 16 games. So Bryson Stott in sole possession of the longest hit streak to start a season in Phillies history. But it wasn't just him. Josh Harrison with a really good game today, 3 for 5, had himself a home run, 4 RBIs. That was his first home run with the Phillies. Castellanos had himself a good game in that one, 3 for 4, had an RBI. Alec Boehm with a couple of RBIs today. And that really picked up Zach Wheeler. He didn't have a bad start by any means, but he just didn't look very crisp out there today. 5 innings, 4 earned. But overall, he did enough to get the win. But Lance Lynn in this one. Lance Lynn is off to a really bumpy start so far this season. He's got an ERA of 7.59. Give up 10 hits in this game, 5 earned. He did strike out 7. But Lance Lynn, he's just not looking great. So look out. Hopefully he can get this turned around for the White Sox. But Luis Robert had a couple of RBIs in this one, had a double. Vaughn had a couple of RBIs for the White Sox today. But game 2, the pitching did turn around for the White Sox. If we go take a look at this, Lucas Giolito definitely helped pick up Lance Lynn today. 5 innings, 7 strikeouts. Jake Berger's been hitting home runs all over the place. Hit his 5th home run today. It was a 3-run shot, and that was all the difference there. So, yeah, I mean, actually, the White Sox had a no-hitter going for a little while. Brandon Marsh ended up breaking it up in the 8th. And the White Sox just looked really good today. Lucas Giolito. Yeah, so what else is there to say? This is what the White Sox need. They need more consistent pitching. I feel like their offense has been pretty good so far this year. Let me actually go pull up the team stats. I'm not sure why I pulled up the team stats. Where are we doing here? Here we go. So let's see where the White Sox are ranking offensively right now. Tampa Bay is definitely in sole possession of first when it comes to offense. But and the White Sox are at 19th. I mean, it feels like they've been scoring more runs lately, but it has been a bit inconsistent. There have been games where they've just not been able to get any runs across the board, but then there's games where they really bang out a lot of hits, driving some runs. So, but the pitching so far for the White Sox, again, 19th overall for them. They got a good pitching staff. So I think it's just a matter of once they get things worked out, I feel like they're going to end up being really good. Because if you take a look at the strikeouts per 9, they are ranking pretty well when it comes to getting strikeouts. 5th overall in strikeouts per 9 among their starters. So I feel like the White Sox are going to end up getting this straightened out. I mean, the Twins pitching has been fantastic. Number 1 overall in strikeouts per 9. I'll tell you, you listen, okay, whatever, call me Giraffe Nick Robbie all you want, but you know what the difference is? You know what the difference is with the pitching besides Pablo Lopez? Got Christian Vasquez there. I'm just saying, Christian Vasquez, he works well with pitchers. I'm not surprised to see this Twins staff because they have a good full staff as well. They got a good 1 through 5. And actually, speaking of, I forgot to mention this. Pablo Lopez signing an extension with the Twins, 4 years. I believe it was $73.5 million. Let me pull up my notes here. Yes, 4 years, $73.5 million for Pablo Lopez. Great move for the Twins. That's exactly what you need to do if you're going to trade for the guy. You know, you got him for a couple more seasons. But no, get the guy locked up. Get him signed up long term. Pablo Lopez, you know, he's not an old chicken by any means. He's, 26 years old? I think that's a great extension for the Twins. So, great move for both sides. But overall, the White Sox getting the win there in Game 2. So, let's get to the Yankees and the Angels. I was just mentioning the Angels earlier. It's always fun when you got Shohei Ohtani going to Yankee Stadium. It's just got this like very interesting vibe to it because, you know, Shohei Ohtani, first off, he's really good, but he's also the modern day Babe Ruth. And when he's in Yankee Stadium, it's just like, it's just something about it, man. It's just kind of gives you goosebumps almost. It's like just this very interesting feeling. But hey, Shohei Ohtani doing Ohtani things today. Home run, couple of RBIs, had a stolen base in this one as well. Man, overall, actually, when you look at the pitching on both sides here, the pitching was actually abysmal for both sides. Clark Schmidt, another Clark Schmidt kind of a start. I mean, I feel like I've talked about this guy, you know, the last couple of starts here. I feel like this is kind of what he's going to give you. He's going to go maybe 4 or 5. He couldn't even get through 4 here today. Give up 4 runs, 6 hits, struck out 5. But hey, Clark Schmidt, I don't know, man. It feels like this guy is just trying to keep his head above water. So Yankees bullpen was really good after him. Didn't give up any more runs, or at least any earned runs. But overall, I mean, it came down to the pitching today. But when it comes to the Angels starting pitching, Suarez had no command in this one. He couldn't even get out of the 4th inning either. He ended up walking 6 guys, 3 hits, 2 earned. But the bullpen, they did just enough to keep the Yankees at bay. Really good day for the Angels bullpen here today. And what else is there to say? The Angels taking the first game here at Yankee Stadium. And I don't think Ohtani is going to be pitching in this one because he pitched yesterday. So yeah, you won't see Ohtani pitch at Yankee Stadium, which is a bummer. But overall, Angels did look really good today. If we were to go over the offense, like I said, Ohtani had the 2-run shot. Rendon had a couple of RBIs in this one. Renfroe, like I said, you know, Renfroe has been a really good addition for the Angels so far. But go take a look at the numbers overall. Hitting 266, a 356 on base, 887 OPS overall. He's got 4 home runs, 16 RBIs. Hunter Renfroe, man, I really liked him when he was with the Red Sox. A really good right-handed bat. And he's keeping it going here with the Angels. I think that's been a great addition. I think that's been one of the more low-key additions of the offseason. You know, the trade that they made, you know, sending I'm going blank on the trade now. Who went back to the Brewers in that one? I can't remember. Who went back to the Brewers. But in the end, Hunter Renfroe, he's been a solid addition for them. Solid addition. So we'll have to see how this one goes tomorrow with the Yankees and the Angels. Let's stay in the American League East. Let's talk about a close one with the Orioles and the Nationals. Star of the show, Dean Kramer. I mean, my God, look at the numbers with Dean Kramer here today. 6 2/3, 4 hits, 6 Ks. Man, real like Dean Kramer. I mean, yeah, sure, it's the Nationals. It's, not a great team, but hey, very solid outing for him today. Very solid outing. And but however, Josiah Gray was not all that bad for the Nationals either. As you can see here, not a lot of runs scored, but Josiah Gray had a decent start. 5 innings, 4 hits, gave up 1 earned, 3 Ks. But the difference was just an Austin Hayes RBI base hit. So not a whole lot going on here. Felix Bautista getting the save at the end. That is save number 5 for him already on the year. Felix Bautista, man. Hey, besides, against the game against my Red Sox where, gave up the walk-off, hey, Felix Bautista's been pretty good, except for against my Red Sox, of course. But, hey, Dean Kramer, star of the show here today. Got to like what he's doing here. The Orioles, once again, looking like a pretty fun team. It's I was hoping they weren't going to be what the Tigers were last year. I was really hoping that. Well, as a Red Sox fan, I was, but as just a overall baseball fan, nice to see that the Orioles are keeping it going, and it looks like they're going to have themselves yet another really good season. Let's take a look here. Let's move on. Let's talk about who do we got next. Well, we might as well just get the American League East out of the way. Let's talk about the Rays. They started off 13-0, and they just haven't really seemed quite the same ever since that amazing start. Well, yesterday, people were thinking, what the heck's going on with this Rays team? They just got bashed by the Reds, but they came back out here today in Cincinnati, 10-0. They just blew them out, man. But let me just go over Game 1 really quick. They lost that one 8-1. The story of Game 1, at least for the Reds, Hunter Green, he got hit in the leg with a comebacker, and he actually left the game in the 4th. So Hunter Green, keep an eye out for him. Keep an eye out for that injury. And then for the Reds, the big game came from Kevin Newman. He went 3 for 4, had a home run, couple of RBIs. The Rays bullpen in Game 1 in yesterday's game, just brutal. A brutal day for the Rays bullpen yesterday. But as you can see here, they regrouped, and the offense really brought it, man. Taylor Walls, as you can see here, what a game for Taylor Walls. 4 for 5, 2 homers, had a triple as well, 4 RBIs. I mean, he must have, did he have a double here today? I'm about to say, how close was he to the cycle? Let's see. Nope. So he was basically a double away. Yeah, he was a double away from the cycle. So what a great game for him. But Taj Bradley, wow. Great pitching from him yet again. 5 1/3, 3 hits, 9 Ks. Hey, I saw him against my Red Sox. Dude was looking really good. So not surprised to see him doing this against the Reds. Man, just an awesome game for the offense. Yandy Diaz hit his 5th home run today. Randy Rosarina with his 4th home run today. However, some bad news for the Tampa Bay Rays. Jeffrey Springs is going to be needing Tommy John. That's a decent hit to the rotation. Listen, Jeffrey Springs, I couldn't wait for the guy to just get off of the Red Sox. Like, he was just awful. But he, with the Rays, he has just really figured it out. Man, let me just pull up the numbers from last year. Had a really good season, but as you can see here, he is expected to undergo Tommy John and is going to miss the rest of the year. And honestly, that's kind of a bummer because this guy, like I said with my Red Sox, he was awful, but came to the Rays and he has just been something else, man. I mean, look at the year that he had last year. 135 1/3 innings pitched, 2.46 ERA, a FIP of 3.04. 9.5 Ks per 9, 2 walks per 9, under a home run per 9. Doesn't have like the biggest fastball out there, but the guy just mix and matches with his pitches. He locates. He has good stuff. Funny enough with the Red Sox, one thing I actually did notice with the Red Sox over the 16 games that he pitched for us, he did have a 3.70 xFIP. So that is one thing that does stick out a little bit to me. So maybe there was a bit of a sign there. But, hey, He really figured it out with the Rays. That was the best spot for him to go, and the numbers show it, obviously. But that's kind of a bummer for the Rays. So, but you do have Zach Eflin, who will be coming back here soon. So right now, that's kind of the one thing I do, you know, when it comes to the Rays pitching. Obviously now you don't have Springs. You will eventually get Tyler Glasnow back. But I wonder about Glasnow. I wonder about the durability with him. It just seems like he's just had a tough time. You know, he ended up getting the Tommy John, came back late last year, and now he went down with the oblique. You know, is this going to be something with Tyler Glasnow? He's going to be injury prone. But if he's good, I think the Rays are going to be fine. Obviously, McClanahan has been balling out so far this year. Taj Bradley's been looking amazing in the first couple of starts. You still have Rasmussen here. You know, they got, obviously, with the Rays, very good organization. They got deep pitching. So I think they'll be okay without Springs. But either way, that is still a tough hit for the Tampa Bay Rays. And, hey, they look pretty good here today. Let's stay in Florida. Let's go to the Marlins. Man, oh, man. I love me some Jazz Chisholm, man. The Marlins are playing some really good baseball lately. Let me actually pull up here their schedule. And let me actually just pull up here and just show you how good they've been doing here lately. They've just been winning games lately. They've just been winning series. Take a look at this. So, after they lost 2 out of 3 to the Mets, they won 2 out of 3 against the Phillies. They won 2 out of 3 against the Diamondbacks. And now they've won 2 out of 3, at least so far, against the Giants. They're going to go for the sweep tomorrow on the road. They've been on the road. Or no, sorry, not on the road. They're at home. I apologize. They're at home. They were on the road in Philly. And they took 2 out of 3 there. They've just been looking like a good team. Good pitching. Edward Cabrera had himself a really good game here today. 6 innings, 8 Ks for him. You gotta like what the Marlins are doing right now. Luis Ariz has been hitting everything lately. He's been awesome. But Jorge Soler here, he has been something else. Had a pinch hit home run yesterday. The Marlins won that 4-3. Man, he has just been great. He went 3 for 4 in today's game. Had a double. Jazz Chisholm got it started. He got the energy going. Had the home run. 3 RBIs. Had a stolen base as well. And like I said, Cabrera, great start for him. So, I just really like what the Marlins are doing lately. I think that they're just, again, I've said this about the Marlins, and I just said this about the Orioles a little earlier, just a fun team. I like a lot of what the Marlins have. I love a lot of the offense. The pitching is obviously deep, but I think a big key for the Marlins, Luis Ariz has obviously been a big key for the Marlins, but someone like a Jorge Soler, who last year just felt really non-existent, it feels like he has a presence here with the Marlins in the lineup. De La Cruz has been stepping up this year. He's hitting .296 in the early going. He did leave 5 runners on today, but he's been having a good start. He's been having a good start to the year. Gene Segura, he hasn't even heated up. I think Gene Segura is eventually going to get himself figured out. Only batting .186 so far, and Aviseo Garcia is only hitting .150. Just feels like the Marlins are they're just putting it together, man. You know, Chisholm is healthy. I think that's also a big key for the Marlins, is Chisholm just staying healthy, just staying on the field. He's an electric player. When he is just doing his thing, this Marlins lineup, it just feels like they're clicking. So, overall, really enjoying the Marlins here lately. Really enjoying them. Jacob Tobin, how you doing, my friend? As a Twins fan, I want to puke. Robbie, good game. Hey, I almost puked there myself. I'm thinking here, Chris Sale just had like the best start in what feels like 5 years, you know, and it's like, come on, we're going to lose this one? Like, it just felt like a game they could not lose. That just would have been ridiculous to me if they lost that one. It felt like, I've seen many Red Sox games over the years, and this one just felt like they were going to win it. I don't know why, you know what I mean? Like, there's just those games where you're not liking your chances. You know, you could be up in the game and you're thinking, I don't know about this one. I'm not feeling good about this one. But no, this one today, I felt good about this Red Sox game today. So, Chris Sale, man. But, Jacob Tobin, I think your Twins are going to be just fine. Hey, they lost today, but they battled in this one. They made it tough. So, We got a fun one here in Arizona. Or no, in St. Louis, actually. Arizona, if you want to talk about fun teams, let's talk about Arizona right now. They have just been really good. I'm just going to flat say it. They've been great. However, the Cardinals, they did battle back here. I think did this game just go final? Or is this game still going on? It was an injury delay. So, who got hurt? Did Chafin get hurt? I don't know what's going on here. But this game is actually looking like it's really fun right now because the Diamondbacks had themselves a big lead. They were up 7-2 at one point. Gabriel Moreno hit a 3-run home run that made it 7-2. Christian Walker, Nick Ahmed, they had a couple of RBIs. Hey, this Diamondbacks team, Ketel Marte yesterday had himself a really good game. He went 2 for 4 with a home run. Pavin Smith had a grand slam in yesterday's game. The Diamondbacks won game 1 6-3. Merrill Kelly had 5 innings, 1 earned. Actually, in game 1 for the Cardinals, Jack Flaherty looked pretty good through 6 innings. Had a tough 7th inning. Gave up a home run to Ketel Marte. And I will say as well for Jack Flaherty, he was getting helped out, I think, in a few spots with the umps. He was getting a couple of calls where I'm like, I think that was a ball, man. I don't think that was a strike. He had a couple of strikeouts where the Diamondbacks hitters looked back at the ump thinking, like, what the heck are you calling here, man? But after winning yesterday, the Diamondbacks, they were up big in this one. And now the Cardinals, they're really charging here late in the game. So let me go. What's been going on here? All right, so bottom of the 9th, Alec Burleson, he grounded out. That made it 8-5. And then Wilson Contreras with a 2-run home run. So, but it looks like, how many outs? There's only 1 out. The bases are empty now. So Arenado's coming up. He's going to be pinch hitting. O'Neal's on deck. Carlson is in the hole. So we'll check back on this one in just a little bit. But this is a fun game here tonight. Diamondbacks and the Cardinals. So let's go to, what do we got next? I've talked about that one. Oh, wow, I've kind of ran through these games pretty quick. Let's go to the Rangers and the Royals. We actually did have some news coming out of yesterday, and we did have some more news coming out today. And actually, the Rangers here. Where's the Rangers? Here we go. The Rangers offense came alive. Hey, everyone, I don't know if you noticed this. The Rangers are 11-6. I'm just saying. The Rangers, they're looking good. Evaldi pitched well here today. 6 innings, 2 earned, 5 Ks. Semien, this guy's been going off with the bat. He had a home run yesterday. Had a home run today. 3-run home run today. This offense is just clicking right now. Let me actually pull up here. Let me go. Where are the Rangers ranking in offense? Let me refresh this. Let me see if it includes tonight's numbers. Texas. Wow, really? Texas only 16th? That's crazy. Where are they ranking runs? Oh, Texas is second in runs. I was about to say, like, they've been scoring a lot of runs, but when it comes to the other numbers, like batting average, on-base percentage, slugging, has been a little low, but hey, whatever. They're driving in runs, and they're getting good pitching. Texas right now, they're actually 4th in strikeouts per 9. And let me pull up here the Fangraph WAR. Where do they rank here? They got to be near the top as well. Texas is 6th right now when it comes to pitching. Starting pitching. They've been getting good pitching, good hitting. I'm just saying. The Rangers are 11-6. And they beat up the Astros in a couple of those games in that finale. They took it to them. Could the Rangers be for real? I mean, why not? They got talent all over the place on this team. Now they got pitching. Last year they had a good offense, but now they have pitching to go along with it. But speaking of pitching, in yesterday's game, DeGrom actually had a no-hitter going through 4 innings, and he ended up coming out because he was having some wrist soreness. But he did come out today and say he's feeling fine and he's going to make his next start. You know, it's funny. When it comes to pitching, well, I guess with anything, if you're having something going on like with your wrist or your elbow, usually, for the most part, that starts with something going on in your shoulder. I will say that. Like, I've had many times over the years, I've had some elbow pain, I've had wrist pain, and more likely than not, that is stemming from something with the shoulder. So I will say, and keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out. I'm going to wonder if DeGrom at some point ends up having something maybe going on with the shoulder, because that's a lot of the times, your wrist, elbow, it's not doing good. It's because you're probably not, there's something not right in that shoulder. So I don't know. I'm just kind of speculating. I'm not a doctor by any means, but based off of experience, that just tends to be what happens. So, but he says he's feeling okay and he's going to make his next start. So I say it's going to be fine. But Dane Dunning, he had a really good outing after him. He came in 4 1/3 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts. Dane Dunning, man, he looked really good. They're getting pitching all over the place. But in the end, Rangers picking up the win there. Young had a 2-run home run in that game. And like I said, Semien homered in yesterday's game. But wow, the offense came alive in this one. They had a huge 6th inning, a huge 8th inning. My goodness, this team is just racking up runs. Leon had a 2-run base hit in the 6th inning. Semien had the 3-run home run. Let me actually go here because I did not see what happened in the 8th inning. So let's see what happened here. Let's go to the scoring. Let's see. So Nate Lowe had a sac fly. Oh, Garcia had himself a 3-run shot. Adolis Garcia, man. This guy's good. Like I said, don't sleep on this Rangers team. They're dangerous. Absolutely dangerous. Speaking of dangerous, how about the Pittsburgh Pirates? The Pirates right now, man, they were just putting up runs yesterday. This Pirates team, I hate that they don't have O'Neal Cruz. I hate that. And they're doing all this without O'Neal Cruz lately. Yesterday, a lot of guys were contributing in that one. Let me just rattle off at all the guys that were contributing. Carlos Santana had 3 RBIs. Ke'Bryan Hayes had 3 RBIs. Kiwan Bay drove in 2. Reynolds drove in 2. Andrew McCutchen had a home run. That was his 3rd home run of the year. Sawinski had a home run in that game. He actually homered here tonight as well. Mark Mathias went 4 for 5. The Pirates offense was just clicking yesterday. But you know what's been huge for the Pirates? Here's what's been big for the Pirates. And I mentioned this going into the season. The one thing I did like about the Pirates was they had just a decent 1 through 5 rotation. And if you look at the rotation, you got Keller, Hill, Velasquez, Oviedo, and Contreras. It's not the best rotation, but it's a rotation where guys can make their starts. If they make their starts, go through, get through 5 innings, that's going to give this team a chance. And they got a decent bullpen here. They've been having a couple of guys in this bullpen stepping up. Bednar, one of the best closers in the game. Holderman's been a great addition for them since coming over from the Mets last year in the Vogelbach trade. They've had guys, Underwood Jr., he's been all right so far. Stevenson, he's been decent lately. Crow, he's not amazing by any means, but they got a couple of guys in this bullpen. So, and the offense, like I just mentioned, sure, it's the Rockies, but they're putting up runs. It's a fun Pirates team right now. But taking a look at tonight, let's go take a look here. So they're up 5-3 right now in the bottom of the 8th. Oh, actually, one thing about yesterday's game as well. Chris Bryant, first home run in Coors Field as a Rocky. So I actually kind of surprised me a little bit. I know he was hurt a lot last year, but I figured, I'm like, wait, really? He didn't have a home run at Coors last year at all? That was kind of surprising to me. But he's on the board when it comes to home runs as a Rocky. So, and he had a homer tonight as well. So back-to-back games, he has homered in Coors Field. Elias Diaz early on had a 2-run double, but that put the Rockies up, or then Sawinski had a home run. So earlier, the Rockies were up 3-1. So let me get caught up here with all of you and see what the Pirates ended up doing there in the 4th inning. So in the 4th, Carlos Santana, he doubled. Listen, everyone, I did a video where players that were overlooked for this year, and Carlos Santana was one of those players I told you all to look out for. This is a guy I did, He was traded last year. He was really bad against the shift last year. This is a guy that I think could do a lot of good things for the Pirates this year. I'm not saying he's going to be, MVP caliber of a player, but Carlos Santana, he's been a good pickup for the Pirates so far. He had a double there in the fourth. Sawinski, was that his second home run? Oh, wow. Sawinski had another home run in this one. Hey, I'll tell you, when it comes to so rare fantasy baseball, I got Jack Sawinski on my team, and he has been really doing well lately. He's been getting some home runs in the past week. So if you play so rare fantasy baseball, see if maybe you can go get a Jack Sawinski card on there. I'm just saying, he's been good. And another home run here tonight. That put the Rockies up 4-3. And then there was a wild pitch by Jose Arena that increased the score to 5-3. We got a super chat coming in. Edible Delights, $5. How you doing? Pirates, the new A's. I see it. Fun team. Hey, I'll tell you, man. I'll tell you. You know who's turned that franchise around? Red Sox legend Ben Cherington. I'm just saying. Ben Cherington. With the Red Sox, listen, I know he made a couple of moves. He brought him, Pablo Sandoval. That was a pretty brutal move. But let's be honest here. When they brought in Pablo Sandoval to the Red Sox, everyone was excited about it. You got the Panda coming to Boston, and then next thing you know, his belt is exploding in Toronto, and that was all she wrote. But the one thing Ben Cherington did, he was very good when it came to the farm. And I knew when he went to the Pirates, he was going to be really good for that organization. I'm not surprised at all to see all this young talent coming up. And the one thing with the Pirates is they don't even have all of their top prospects up. You don't got Henry Davis yet. And obviously now you don't have O'Neal Cruz, but imagine down the road, maybe in like 2-3 more years, Tamar Johnson is up. Hey, you got Henry Davis. They got guys. You got Nick Gonzalez, obviously. Nick Gonzalez is a guy to keep an eye out for. They got players in this farm system. It's one of the best farm systems in all of Major League Baseball. And again, not surprised to see Ben Cherington, turn that farm system around. They really needed a guy like that to come in and really fix it. Edible Delights, another super chat. How you doing, my friend? I love Ben. Yes, he made some bad moves. However, people forget he's the one that pulled the Josh Beckett trade. Oh, hey, you're very right about that. That's actually a fact that people forget about, because Theo ended up he went on a little hiatus there, and oh man, I still remember that night. I still remember when they made that trade. That was when you had like no Twitter, there was no social media. You had the internet. That's what you had. You had AOL. All right. Or was dial-up actually a thing of the past at that point? I think people still had dial-up, but I think there was a point where you could actually just go on the internet and you didn't remember, because if you had dial-up, you remember if you were on the internet and you couldn't use the phone at the same time. Like you would pick up the phone, like your house phone, and it would just be all like the staticky noise or the internet sound or whatever it was. And I think I remember the internet, you could just go on the internet without dial-up at that point. But I remember I was seeing rumors, like I was going on like the Boston Globe, I was going on the Boston Herald, I was checking all of like those, major sources, and there were rumors of the Red Sox like talking with the Marlins. And I loved that when they traded for Beckett. That was awesome. I love that. And they brought Mike Lowell back in that trade too, the throw-in who ended up being the World Series MVP in 2007. I remember Beckett was actually pretty bad that first year in 2005. I was really revved up for him to come to Boston, but man, or 2006, sorry. 2006 was his first year. And then obviously 2007, the guy was amazing. So, but we'll have to check on this one. It's almost final. It's going to the top of the ninth. So we'll have to see if the Rockies can put up any kind of a fight in the bottom half of the inning. But again, the Pirates, they're just looking really fun right now. Looking really fun. Let's move on here. Let's go to the Blue Jays and the Astros. This just went final not too long ago. The Astros let's get back to yesterday. The Astros won big in yesterday's game. They won 9-2. Jules had another home run, 3 RBIs. Myers had a home run, 3 RBIs. They actually got drafted in the same year. They both got drafted in the 2017 draft from last year. So, or from, what did I just say? I don't know what I just said. I just got distracted because Chris Sale just walked onto the podium at Fenway, and he's wearing like a green shirt, and I thought it was a jersey at first. I'm like, what is this green Red Sox jersey? Never mind. Anyway, Edible Delights, $5 super chat. By the way, 85 are on, not even 30 likes. Come on, all, support my favorite teacher. I appreciate you, my friend. Everyone, yeah, if you can, please hit that like button. Yeah, that's all I ask for. If you can just hit the like button. The goal for tonight is 100 likes. That would be greatly appreciated if you can hit that for me. So if we can at least get to 50, I'll be okay with that. But yesterday, the Astros did win big. Jules, Myers, they both homered. And like I said, they both got drafted in the same year back in 2017. So that was pretty cool. Gausman got rocked. Man, Gausman is my Cy Young pick for the American League this year. That might have been a bad pick. But the Astros really took it to him yesterday. Christian Javier in yesterday's game, he went 5 innings, 3 hits, gave up 1 earned. So it was a good first win for the Astros, but a good bounce-back win tonight for the Blue Jays. They went up 4-0 early. Vlad had a home run. That was his 3rd home run of the year. Chapman has just been going insane this year. Hit his 5th home run in this one. What is Chapman actually hitting now? Chapman is still hitting over 400 so far. The guy is nuts. Matt Chapman. Remember, he got surgery on his hip a couple of years ago. I had the same surgery that Matt Chapman got, the same hip surgery. And looks like that hip is not bugging him anymore. My grandpa hip still will bug me from time to time. But overall, Blue Jays, that was pretty much it for the offense. Espinal and Bo Bichette, they had RBIs in this one as well. Chris Bassett looked very good in this one. 6 1/3, 3 hits, 5 Ks. Bassett got off to the rough start for the Blue Jays early on in the year, but it looks like he's really figured it out, and he's been very solid in his last couple of starts. So I was wondering after that start, he gave up like 9 runs in that first start for the Blue Jays, and I think Blue Jays fans are ready to they were ready to jump off a cliff at that point. But he's got it going on now. So Blue Jays are looking good, 11-7. I guess a lot of attention has been on the Rays. The Yankees have gotten some attention early on. I mean, you could even say the Red Sox too. You know, the Red Sox, people, the one storyline coming into this year was, what will the Red Sox be? After letting Xander Bogaerts go to the Padres, people are wondering, what is this Red Sox team going to be? And I feel like even the Red Sox have been talked about a little bit more than the Blue Jays. But hey, the Jays have been looking pretty good so far. So, but let's get to the Cubs. Let's get to the Cubs and the A's. And yesterday, man, Cody Bellinger went off. Actually, Patrick Wisdom went off in that game yesterday too. Man, Cubs put up a 10 spot on the A's. I know it's the A's. They're 3-14. I know it's the A's, but hey, to see Bellinger do what he did yesterday, 5 for 5, had a double as well. Bellinger is looking great. So let's actually go pull up his numbers real quick. And again, he had a home run when he went back to LA. He's hitting 300 on the year. I mean, this is a guy, I made a video, guys that could bounce back. And, or I actually made a video saying, I can't remember the title of it, but in my opinion, Cody Bellinger was a guy that easily could have a bounce back year. You got to remember with Cody Bellinger, he's got the big swing, right? He's got that long follow through. He's got a different swing than a lot of guys. When that swing is on and he's got it going, the dude will just hit piss missiles all over the place. But he got hurt in the last couple of years. I think everything got, but with that swing, he needs to have the timing right. He's got to have the mechanics right. And I feel like the last couple of years, a lot of that has been thrown off. Remember, the guy broke his freaking leg or whatever it was. He's had stuff going on with his shoulder or whatever. He's just been a mess in the last couple of years. And I figured, you know what? He's going to be healthy this year. He's got nothing going on. He's got a fresh start in Chicago. Dodger fans are they were growing impatient with him. And this, to me, it was just a very good recipe for him to have himself a good season. And man, it is a 1-year deal, right? I think that he signed a 1-year deal. If he keeps up this kind of a year with these kind of numbers, and he goes back on the free agent market, or is it was a mutual option? Honestly, I wonder if he has a really good year. I wonder if maybe probably not. I would think that maybe they wouldn't have that, because usually mutual options don't really end up happening for the most part. But anyway, let's just say Bellinger hits the market after this year, and he's still got he hits 300, has an on base in the over 350, OPS close to 900. Let's say he has 25, 30 home runs. I think Bellinger will get himself a really nice contract. So, hey, have to see how it goes. And I believe I think he said he had multi-year offers from other teams, but he ended up just he got the 1 year with the Cubs without the mutual option. So, hey, if he ends up having himself a good season, man, just go, that'd be a great year to bet on yourself, man. And so far, it's looking really good for him. So, but again, like I said, Patrick Wisdom in yesterday's game, 3 for 5, had a couple of bombs. He had 4 RBIs. Ian Happ had 3 RBIs as well. But I want to point out Hayden Wesneski. Hayden Wesneski pitched really well for the Cubs yesterday. 7 innings, had an earned run, 7 Ks. He got demolished in his last start, and a really good bounce-back performance for Hayden Wesneski. But looking at the game right now, not a whole lot going on. You got Marcus Stroman pitching really well. He's made it through 3 Ks, no runs given up. And as for the A's, who do they got going? They got Waldachuk. I like Waldachuk. Remember, that was a guy that was with the Yankees, and I thought that was a pretty good prospect that the A's got back. So he's pitching really well. So you got a bit of a pitcher's duel here in Oakland. The Cubs have had 5 hits tonight. So you've got a hit from Horner, Happ, 2 from Suzuki. Hey, look at Suzuki. He came back recently. He's doing really well. He's hitting 350 so far. And then Torrance had a base hit in the 9 spot. So, hey, keep your eyes on this one. It's a late game. It's on the West Coast, but we got a good pitcher's duel going here so far. Let's go to the Braves and the Padres. So right now the Braves are up 2-0 early. So I did not look at this one. It's these late games, man. These late games are going to kill me. But what happened so far? Hey, Kevin Pillar sighting. Had a ground rule double. That made it 1-0. Sean Murphy with another home run. 4th home run of the year for him. And right now, I mean, actually, this is kind of perfect with what I wanted to talk about. The Padres offense right now, it is not looking great. They got shut out yesterday. Max Fried had 5 innings, 0 earned. The bullpen was fantastic for the Braves. Austin Riley had the 2-run home run, and that was all the Braves needed in yesterday's win. And right now, it's looking a lot like the same thing. 2-0 Braves. No offense going for the Padres. They're being no-hit. The Padres are being no-hit right now. Did I just jinx it? But Strider, what do you know? Another Spencer Strider start where he's got at least 5 innings and 9 Ks. I feel like anytime he at least pitches 5, he will have at least 9 strikeouts. I feel like I see that same exact stat line all the time with him. But Snell is actually looking okay for the Padres. 5 innings, 5 strikeouts. He gave up the home run, but the Padres offense is really bad right now. And actually, after last night's game, Manny Machado actually came out and he said here to AJ Cassavell in the post game, he says here, I'd rather this happen now than down the road. Manny Machado said of the offense's slow start. And for anyone who would read too much into 18 games, it's just don't jump on the bandwagon later on when we start effing raking and we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. I get what he's saying. I get it. But listen, Padres fans, hey, they're some good, they're passionate fans. When you got this lineup, I mean, let's just look at this lineup. I mean, you all know the lineup. I mean, come on. You got Machado, you got Soto, and now you got Bogarts. Cronenworth went off a couple of games ago. You got good bats. This lineup should be hitting. I mean, I get it. Sure, you're going to have your slow starts. You're going to have guys working through some things still. But this is a really good lineup. They should be hitting, at least better than what they've been doing. I don't know what's going on. Bogarts is hitting. Right now, Bogarts is the only guy with a batting average above 300. Bogarts has been the only guy really producing. Like Soto, what is going on with Soto? Yeah, he's still got a great eye at the plate. He's got 2 walks already tonight. But what is going on here? Now, Fernando Tatis Jr. is going to be back soon. Couple of days now. Guy's been absolutely raking down in the minor leagues. Looks like Babe Ruth down there. But I feel like they shouldn't need Fernando Tatis Jr. to save this lineup. This lineup is already really good, even without Tatis. So, but he is right. He is right. When this team starts hitting, oh boy, it's going to be pretty nasty. So, Padres fans, let me know what you think about Machado's comments here. How do you feel about, him calling out the bandwagon fans, I would say. I think that's a pretty interesting comment. I don't know. I feel like people could be pretty split on that comment. For me personally, yeah, I mean, I can see what he's saying here, but I could also understand too, like, hey, I know it's early. It's April 18th, but I mean, come on. Can everyone else besides Bogarts start putting the bat on the ball a little bit? Can we actually start doing something here? You got Machado and Soto in the middle of the order. I mean, that's already incredible. I mean, what a great 1-2 punch that is. And Bogarts? I mean, come on now. So, I think they're going to be fine. I think this is probably some frustration as well because he's off to a slow start. So, you all know Machado. He's always been that guy. He's always had a bit of an attitude. So, I'm not surprised to see him making comments like that. But it is got to be pretty frustrating for Padres fans, I would imagine. Like, another 0 spot tonight. I know it's the Braves. It's good pitching. But, you'd like to see them, put up a couple of runs here and there. My goodness. So, but speaking of pitching, let's talk about the Brewers and the Mariners. I thought this was a pretty fun series coming into it. However, big story coming out of yesterday was Corbin Burns had a left pec strain, and I haven't really seen an update on it. At least have I just missed it. But let's see what's going on with. I don't think he's going to the IL. I think he's just day to day at this point. So let's see what's going on with Corbin Burns. So I also think it was his left pec. I don't think it was even his right one. So that's a good sign. But yeah, it says he's going to play catch. So he's day to day as of right now. I feel like he'll be fine. So yeah, good thing it wasn't his right pec. So, but overall, yesterday's game, Brewers win that one 7-3. It felt like everyone in the offense was contributing for the Brewers yesterday. You had 6 different hitters with an RBI. Contreras, Anderson, Voit, Miller, Weimer, Terang had a home run for the Brewers. Just a good overall performance for the Brewers offense yesterday. And, hey, good solid win. You just hate to see Corbin Burns get hurt. As for the Mariners, they did lose, but Julio Rodriguez had a home run. Right now, it is 4-4. Let's go over this one. Christian Yelich, he got it started with the home run in the early goings. That's his 3rd home run of the year. Let's actually take a look at Christian Yelich. How is he doing so far? So, the slash line doesn't look amazing. He's got a 709 OPS, a 325 on base, so that means his slugging is in the 4s. A 464 slugging. Well, actually, oh no, sorry, I'm reading the wrong one. A 384 slugging. Okay, I take back what I was about to say. But he's got a few home runs. He's got 7 RBIs. He's got 4 stolen bases. What happened to Yelich's slash line, man? If you go back, look at the slash line that he put up in 2019 and 2018. The guy was nuts in 18 and 19. Had a 1,000 OPS in 2018. In 2019, it was 1,100. This guy was nuts. What a year he had in 2019. He had 44 bombs, 97 RBIs. He had 80 walks. He had 80 walks compared to 118 strikeouts. He had 30 stolen bases as well. What a really good year that was. But I don't know what has happened to this guy's slash line. Either way, I still think he's going to end up having a decent season. But He gets it started tonight with the home run. He actually added another base hit as well to make it 2-0. Willie Adames had a double that made it 3-0. But here come the Mariners. Eugenio Suarez, he got hit by a pitch that loaded the bases, and then Cal Riley had a double that drove in 2 that made it 3-2. Tommy La Stella, he had a base hit that scored 2 more. So that put the Mariners up 4-3. And hey, another Willie Adames sighting here. His 4th home run tied the game in the 6th. So we got a tie game right now. But I'll tell you, the Brewers are off to a really good start. I wasn't very high on the Brewers coming into this year, but they've been looking really good. This lineup has been, like I just mentioned yesterday, they just had all of these guys contributing in the offense. I like to see that, you know. I don't like when you just got like 2, 3, 4 guys doing stuff. I like the whole lineup contributing. And the Brewers lineup, I feel like a lot of these guys, they've just been doing different things. I like that for the Brewers, and they've got good pitching. Hey, Corbin Burns, hopefully he's going to be fine. But overall, I'm enjoying this Brewers team so far. I wonder how far they'll go, but they're looking great so far. We'll just have to wait and see. But let's talk about the Mets and the Dodgers. This one is actually already underway. The Dodgers are up 3-0 as we speak. But the Mets, they had a fun win yesterday in L.A. Going back to yesterday, they had a big 7th inning where the Dodgers, they got it started with Freddie Freeman. He had 2 home runs in yesterday's game. But the Mets battled back. Max Muncy had a home run that ended up giving the Dodgers another lead later in the game. But in the 7th inning, the Mets came back. Brandon Nimmo, Marte, they had base hits that drove in some runs. And then Nito, he ended up scoring on a balk. And then Lindor had a ground out that made it 7-6. In the end, the Mets hung on to win yesterday's game. So a good win for them yesterday. Feels like the Mets are kind of putting it together here. You know, it feels like they're getting some wins together. But tonight, Tyler McGill, he is on the bump. Looks like he's not been terrible so far. 4 innings. Okay, he's not. No, I take that back. McGill has not been looking very good here tonight. Already given up 2 home runs, 5 hits, 3 earned, 3 walks as well. So not a great outing here for McGill. But for the Dodgers tonight, you got Kershaw pitching a typical Kershaw beauty so far. 1 hit, 4 Ks. Gotta love that. But what's been going on here with the scoring? So in the first, good old JD Martinez. Hey, is there really any surprise here? JD Martinez, former Sox. What can I say? But hits his 2nd home run. Out to dead. He's got 2 home runs in this game. What in the world? JD Martinez, do your thing, man. Do your thing. I love seeing JD Martinez doing well. I would have been happy if he stayed with the Red Sox. I really would have. I've loved his bat with the Red Sox over the last, 5-6 years. He was so good in 2018. I loved when they signed JD Martinez. Great signing. But off to a great start here tonight. He's basically the Dodgers offense here. And if Kershaw keeps pitching this way, that's all he's going to need. So looking like we're on our way to a Dodgers win here tonight. But as for the Mets, they actually did have an injury here. Did have Carlos Carrasco going on the IL. Got some inflammation in his throwing elbow. So that's not good. They're going to be calling up Jeff Brigham. And so for the Mets, hey, right now, they're just trying to get guys back healthy. You know, Scherzer, he's been dinged up. You know, Scherzer's always dinged up. That's just how he's going to be. You still haven't seen Verlander. And now you got Carrasco going on the IL, so that's not great. So right now, the Mets are working with a rotation. Sure, you know, you still have Scherzer. You still got Senga. You got Peterson. You got McGill. When this rotation is healthy, it's amazing. But right now, they're definitely going through some bumps. So, Mets fans, let me know. Let me know how you're feeling about the Mets and their pitching moving forward. Are you confident? Let me know what you think. Actually, we got one more bit of news about the Dodgers. My goodness. Look at this. Look at this. Mookie Betts. My old friend Mookie Betts. Still cry myself to sleep every single night. But Mookie Betts is going to be playing some shortstop when he comes back from the paternity list. So he's got his second child on the way. Congrats to Mookie on that. But when he comes back, he's going to be playing some shortstop. That's crazy. I mean, he played second base coming up through the minor leagues. They ended up moving him out to the outfield. He's just really athletic. He can play anywhere. But Dave Roberts, this is what he said. There's a chance I might slide him over to shortstop. He looks extremely natural. The guy can play anywhere on a baseball field. Mookie Betts, the shortstop, is coming to LA. I mean, that's pretty crazy. Never would have thought Mookie Betts would be playing some shortstop, considering how good he is in right field. The guy has just a ridiculous arm. He's so fast out there. But right now, the Dodgers, coming into this year, you're kind of a little concerned about shortstop, right? Miguel Rojas, he's got a glove, but you're not going to get a whole lot with the bat. So the thing with the Dodgers is you got guys that can go out there and play in the outfield. James Outman. I expected James Outman to be really good this year, and he's off to a great start. He's been hitting really well. You got Peralta, who's been hitting pretty decently. You've got Jason Hayward, who's been doing a thing or two. He's Jason Hayward. He's a lefty bat. You got Trayce Thompson. You got Chris Taylor, who can go out and play in the outfield as well. So, but right now, when it comes to shortstop, at least from an offensive point of view, they're not strong. And you got Miguel Rojas, who's going to be a glove, but he's not giving you anything with a bat. So, if you want to maximize your lineup, and keep Miguel Vargas at second base, it makes sense to me that Mookie Betts would play shortstop. So, Rakshit Dewan, Dodgers making room for an outfielder trade? I would think probably not. You got James Outman, who's been hitting well. Hayward is not going to be a great option, but they could at least do a platoon out there. You got Hayward, you got Trayce Thompson, so that could be a lefty-righty platoon. And then, Peralta, same thing. Peralta's a lefty, so you can stick Trayce Thompson in there as well. So I'm not surprised at all to see Mookie Betts getting some playing time at shortstop. I think that's going to be pretty fun. So everyone, keep your eyes out for that. That'll be fun. Mookie Betts, the shortstop. Have I gone over all the games? I think I've gone over everything. I know we still have a couple of games going on right now. Let me check back with the Cardinals. And so, okay, that went final. The Diamondbacks were able to hang on. Diamondbacks improved to 11-7. The Cardinals had a good little rally there in the ninth inning. Had the Wilson Contreras home run that brought it to 8-7. But the Diamondbacks hanging on. I'm telling you, everyone. I told all of you coming into this year, look out for the Diamondbacks. I told all of you this at the end of the year last year. Look out for the D-backs. They're doing good. So, Braves still hanging on to a 2-0 lead. We just looked at the Dodgers. It's 3-0. We still got a shutout here in Oakland with the A's and the Cubs. Still 4-4 with the Brewers and the Mariners. So right now, everyone, I think it's just keep your eyes out for these games. I will go over them on tomorrow's show when I recap tomorrow night's games. So that's pretty much what I'm going to have to do, moving forward. Because, I got to work in the morning. So, I can't be staying up, till past midnight for these games. But I will go over them in the next day. But it's pretty crazy, right? Because last year, it's what, 11, almost 11:30 here on the East Coast. And last year, you would be having a Dodgers game would be in the second or third inning at this point. Now it's already in the fifth. Man, this doubleheader today between the Tigers and the Guardians, both games combined was only over a little over 4 hours. That's crazy. 2 games in just over 4 hours. That's pretty nuts. I love the pitch clock. I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. I mean, I don't see a whole lot of people complaining about it now because these games are just moving so much more efficiently. They're more enjoyable to watch. And honestly, I think that's actually a big reason for why, because I told all of you in the beginning of this stream, I said that there just is like a different energy to this year. I don't know what it is. Like, it's April 18th, and it feels like almost, at least to me, we're in July. It feels like that to me. I don't know why. I just, baseball fans they're hot right now. They're just, everyone's enjoying the game. And I think the pitch clock is a big reason for that, because these games are just way more digestible now. Like, you can actually pay attention to them. You know, I think the pitch clock, anyone that complained about the pitch clock, I'm sorry, but you were wrong. I hate to break it to you. And I don't know if there's anyone out there that still doesn't like it. Yeah, you were going to have growing pains. And of course, when there were like a couple of things going on in spring training, everyone, you know, like other content creators out there, they're like jumping on it like, oh, pitch clock madness. This is horrible for the game. And the umpires they're just ruining the game with this pitch clock and blah, blah, blah. Baseball is ruined because of the pitch clock. It's like, can you just calm down? Can you just go have a sandwich and just relax for a second and let people work through the growing pains of the pitch clock back in spring training? It's like, my goodness, people were like just going crazy about it. I knew right away, I'm like, this is going to be great, because that's why a lot of people, they zone out during games. Like, you got people sitting there on their phones like during the games, because guys are sitting there, they're, you know, adjusting their batting gloves, they're, you know, doing whatever in between pitches. And it's just, sorry, it's 2023. People's brains aren't working, you know, like they were back in the, you know, back in the 80s and the 70s and the 90s, you know, early 2000s. Even if you go back to the early 2000s, games were moving pretty quick, you know? But over the years, it just got slower and slower and slower and slower, and they needed to make a change. So I'm just saying, I love the pitch clock. I think it is fantastic. But everyone, I am going to start getting out of here. Everyone, if you can, please hit that like button for me on the way out. I will love you forever. Our goal tonight was 100. I don't know where we're at right now, but if you can help us get close to 100, I will be a very happy boy. Hit the bell notification. That way you know I go live every single night. Most likely, everyone, for the post games, I'm going to be shooting for probably around 10 o'clock Eastern time. That seems like a healthy time where you got most games going final, but then you got the West Coast games that are still going on, so, or about to start at that time. So be on the lookout around 10 o'clock every single night. Everyone, if you can, share the stream as well. That would be a huge help for people that can catch it later on if they weren't able to make it tonight. And subscribe if you are new. For the sponsors for tonight, we got BetOnline. Use the code BLEAV if you are into the sports betting game. Go check out BetOnline, your number one source for all your sports betting needs, whether that's baseball, basketball, hockey, UFC, or whatever. And also, don't forget, everyone, we got SeatGeek. Use my code Hyde, $20 off on your first purchase, as well as Prize Picks, a 100% deposit match. Use my code Ginger, and if you deposit $20, they'll give you $20. Everyone, I'm out of here. I'm going to start winding down. I got to work in the morning, but as always, it's great to see all of you stopping by. Do greatly appreciate it. But I will see you all again tomorrow night. We'll be talking some more baseball at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Have yourself a good night, everyone, and I'll talk to you next time.